Today we're going to talk about sketch comedy. So this would be skits that you do with a group of people, or you could do it by yourself, but most of the time you have at least two characters in a sketch. Specific to kids comedy, I would suggest that you go out to YouTube and watch old episodes of a show called All That. This ran from the mid 90s into the 2000s, and it's really the last good example we have of a truly sketch comedy show done just for kids. When you watch those old episodes, you're going to see a lot of these ideas play out. The first idea I'm going to present to you is the idea that you could rewrite lyrics to a song. Remember what we talked about in previous episodes about what makes something funny. You need context, and so in this case, a familiar song, and then you need the unexpected. When we're familiar with the tune, but you surprise us with the story, that turns into comedy. You could also do a commercial for a fake product or look around your house and do it as an exercise. Pick them up and see if you can think of some other way to use that thing, a cup or a toothbrush or a pillow. Think about something that you could market that as that's different than what it's typically used for. You could create an alternate ending or plot to a movie. So, for example, you could take a fairy tale and you could retell that fairy tale with some other ending or different characters. You could add a character to a story, which oftentimes will make it funny. And then turn the tables. Think about how you can do something the opposite way that it's done. So, for example, if you identify as a boy, why not try to play a girl character or a neutral binary character? There was a very funny recurring skit on Saturday Night Live called That's Pat. If you want to see an example of what a gender neutral character might look like. You could also do different accents. So you could take something and you could just recreate it using a different accent, a British accent or an Australian accent or some other kind of a cultural accent. Be careful of cultural appropriation here. You definitely want to have a tie to the accent that you're using. So don't use an Indian accent unless you're actually an Indian person. And then emotions. You could do a completely extreme emotion. So something that there's no reason for you to be angry at, you could act out as this really angry person. Or maybe it's something that you would normally be angry at, but you try to act it out as if it's something you just absolutely love about the person and it just makes you love them even more. Another really popular thing to do with sketch comedy is to give bad advice. So you could have somebody ask a question, a perfectly legitimate question, and give them the worst possible advice on how to resolve the situation. My final suggestion to inspire you would be to mimic a celebrity and put them into an odd setting, like have them forecasting the weather or imagine if they were hosting a cooking show. So by taking something familiar that people are used to and putting them in a different setting and then acting it out, that's one way that you could come up with something original that you could do for a sketch. I can't wait to see what you come up with.